What's up, people? Today I'm installing my little 3D printed flow-through piece that I got. It's sturdy as hell, and it's actually a really nice design. This is going to go underneath the hood, right where we had originally used the Dremel to cut a hole, but it kind of looks like crap. But this is going to replace that, and it's going to make it look a lot neater. As far as performance goes, I wouldn't get this if you're thinking about it's going to help you performance-wise or lower your IATs. However, there are reasons to get it. It looks awesome. One, it's sturdy, and this is a veteran-run company, run by a bunch of veterans. Myself being a veteran, I support veterans. If you support veterans, you know, think about getting one of their pieces. I'll have all their information in the description. But let's go and install this and show you what it looks like. All right, as you can see, we used the Dremel to cut that little piece out, and it looks all right, but this part right here, it's kind of junk. So we're gonna end up putting that in place.
So I'm crazy, won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop, got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but I know it, you know it, we make it.
Alright, just like that, it's installed. Here's the old piece, the OEM part that we used the Dremel to cut. That piece looks a lot better, and it's sturdier. Very, very nice. Last, we are going to remove this piece of foam here that's in the way, and just do another test to see if there's any extra air getting in. The last time we did this test, this was still in place, and we showed that there really was no air at all getting in under idle or power. It was like very, very minimal. IATs were not affected. I'm gonna take this off and we'll just double check, see if anything happens. All right, so the settings we're gonna be using for this unit, let's set this up. What's that? Mile per hour, okay. Set it up for mile per hour. We're going to place this directly in front of the vent, and as you can see, the arrow is facing in, just like in the other test that you had seen. We're going to get this secured real quick, and then we'll get started. All right, it's not exactly the nicest looking setup because I don't have any more zip ties, so we put a little Gorilla Tape on there. And as you can see, with the hood open, we've got some movement. The fan is moving. Let's show you that the meter is on. The meter is on. We're going to start screen recording once we get the Bluetooth connected. As you can see, now there's no wind. It is not moving at all. Okay, so we're going to shut the hood. This shouldn't go anywhere. It's still secure. All right. Oh, my car's a mess. All right. Start the engine. And put you over onto the GoPro. Once we get this started, turn this off and I can start screen recording. All right, there we go. All right, now I'm turning off this camera. I have to connect to that meter. And we're sitting at idle. Okay, let's connect to the Bluetooth of that meter. Key is connected. Just double check real quick. All right, we're back, and it is working, which is very unusual because we are getting, we're idle. We're not moving at all, right? Well, we're at idle, and it's telling me I have 1.7 mile per hour wind blowing in there. Let me see what happens when I shut the vehicle off. Okay. So we still have a small wind value of zero point 0.6. I'm going to start a screen recording over here in the corner for you, so you can just follow along over here. And let's start it now. It says with the engine off and not moving, we have 0.8 mile per hour blowing in. Now it's jumping to 1, as you can see. Let's open the hood. Take a look at what's going on with the fan. So I just double checked. As you can see, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. There's a wind value with the engine off. The fan is getting a little breeze in there somewhere at the mile per hour setting. Okay, so as you can see, corner of your screen, 0.8. We're going to drive and see if this goes up. Now I'm going to be watching my phone over here. 1.1. You guys and girls can follow along still on that screen. We're just going to drive through the parking lot. It's going up a little bit. 3. Jumping up a little bit. We're going to get on the road, do a little pull. So we are getting some airflow. .6. Miles an hour. 30 miles an hour, it hits around 7. And there's a little bit of a lag with the Bluetooth. It drops back down. So, let's take a drive down the street here, and we'll turn around, we'll come back, and we'll tape up that hole and see if anything is getting through. 50 miles an hour. We hit 8.9, 10.5. So it's like about a fifth of the airspeed. There's a little bit of air coming through. I'm going to pull over now. This is just going to be a quick little test. We're going to just see if the air continues to get through when we tape up that vent. I need to turn around. Alrighty. That was a quick little test to show you how much air is going through. 50 miles an hour, we hit 10.5. I'm going to get out. I'm going to use that tape. I'm going to tape it up, and we're going to start this over again and see if even opening that thing up actually really helps. Back in a second. All right, not the prettiest of tests, I'll admit. Okay, but we are covering this piece up right here. No air can go through. Now we're going to retest. Okay, we are back. We have taped up the hole completely, so there's no air getting in whatsoever. I gotta wait for this ice cream truck to drive by. Okay. We have as you can see, a 0 wind value. So there's no air at all blowing underneath the hood. All right, completely 0. I'm gonna start the screen recording. All right. And we're going to start driving. See if anything gets in. Let's reset this. There we go. We're rolling. It's at 0. Point 2, 0.8, 1, 1.3, 1.5. Okay, that's odd because there's no air able to get directly into the meter from the front. So I'm wondering if there's air somehow blowing around inside the compartment that's causing this. Let's check our temps. Now we need to quickly get up to 50. See if that changes. Miles an hour, 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, 2, a whole 2 miles per hour wind cycling through there right now. All right. So 1.7, 1.5. I'm saying this out loud, so when I do this in post-processing and I show you the screen recording, I can actually sync it up a little bit better because sometimes I'm off. 1.1, 0.8. I'm doing that as a marker, like to make sure that I'm lining up what I'm saying with what I'm watching. So when I drag and drop this video, it matches up pretty good, and just want to make sure it's good. Well, listen, I can tell you right now that we get up to 10 times more air with that piece open. And removing the foam, okay? Removing that little foam piece, I'll show you here in a second, but I'm going to wrap this up and park and give you my final thoughts on this little piece. 0.8, 1.1. So there's still a little bit of air, even though we've blocked off the wind from going completely in through that opening. There's still a little bit of air somehow circulating in and around the fan inside the engine bay, where it's causing the fan to move. The fan is very, very sensitive. It's a very, very sensitive fan. A little bit of air, a little bit of airflow. As you saw from our original test, that when we blew from an arm's length away, it was like two or 3. Oh. Oh, hope they're all right. Okay, this just happened in front of me. All right. Wow. I hope that little girl's okay. It was an accident on a dirt bike right in front of me. All right, sorry about that, people. That was a little dirt bike accident in front of me. I was a little distracted. So let's park. Let's pop the hood, stop the test. 1.1, 0.6, 0.4. We are at a dead stop, but it is breezy outside by the wind. We're at idle 0.2, 0.4. As you can still see. Let me shut the engine off. .6. Yeah, we're still getting air in, even though it's taped off inside the engine bay. 0.4 is unusual. So the last location when I started this, there was no wind blowing around. I'm by the river, and it's pretty breezy. And even at idle, we're getting 0.2, 0.4. It's fluctuating back and forth. Not at idle, I'm sorry, but the engine's off and the thing is shut and it's taped up. So there's still air somehow getting in through either our hood scoop or underneath, causing this thing to, the fan to move a little bit. All right, let's shut this down, get out, and we'll remove it. All right, as you can see, it's still taped up. So there's still some air getting in or causing this fan to move, even when we're not actually, the engine's off and it's not moving. It's very, very minimal. But as you saw, not having this covered, you get 10 times the amount of air. Look, it's already starting to blow because now that the wind is hitting it, it's starting to move. Having this open or having this piece, or if you just want to remove that piece altogether, will actually help you out. How you doing, my man?
How you doing?
So, is it worth opening up or putting this piece in? Yes. I absolutely have changed my mind on that. 10 times air is better than 0 air, or 0.5. So, either take the piece off, or as I recommend it, or check out our guys that make this. I'll have a link down in the description of this video. Check them out, and maybe you'll want to add one of these pieces like I did. All right, we are losing the light, so we got to hurry up. So let's recap this follow-up test with, this was the original OEM piece where we cut that open. This was the little foam piece that you saw that sat right here, okay? And if you'll notice on the back, I want to show you something on the back. There's this piece right here that we ever cut off. Kind of doesn't, it's not as fully open as it would be if that was removed, or if you used a FloThroo piece. So, this second test has proved one thing to me, that this helps, and having more of an opening lets a little bit more air in. Is it better than not having this done? Absolutely. So leaving it closed is not a good idea. So rather than cut this open, which you can, I mean, if you don't have the funds right now and you just want to remove this piece completely, you can remove the piece completely and you'll get just the same amount of airflow that we did with our new piece. Or if you head on down in the description of this video, click on the link, head on over, support this veteran organization, or veteran run company, I should say, that produces that 3D printed piece that I put in there. So with the opening, you get 10 times more air. It's not a lot. At 50 miles an hour, we got 10 miles per hour. It's still better than 0, okay? We did see the temperature fluctuate because of the air moving around in the engine bay. We got upwards of 1.1, 1.5 miles per hour doing nothing, even in idle. But we were absolutely able to prove that driving, you get a little bit more. So, cut that hole, remove this piece, or do the best and the smarter thing, I would think, is to just actually add that badass looking 3D printed piece that I did. I was blown away at how nice it was and how easy it is to replace. It really is two push pins here, and you got to pull the top part out. Super easy and convenient, and it's also for a good cause. I mean, who doesn't like helping vets out, right? So, 2 thumbs up from this guy. I recommend it. Again, all the information will be down in the description. If you have any questions for me, shoot me a message. Oh, and don't forget, remove this, okay? Remove this little foam cushion. I'm going to send them some updated pictures because on their website, they were showing you a red one. They still had this in place. When we did our first test, this was still in place. Removing it seems to help out a little bit, gave us a little bit more airflow. So definitely pull that off. It's just held on by a little bit of double-sided tape here and the two little guides that it goes in. You can pop that right off and clean it up. So that's all I got. If you liked the video, do me a favor and hit the like button. Hit the little bell notification right next to that. Down here, if you would, please click subscribe. Last but not least, you guys and girls all be safe. I'm out.